Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Jasmine, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Jasmine's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give her while we are working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go to the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Jasmine's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Jasmine is seated nicely on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first command they'll demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash, and Fred and Jasmine take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Jasmine heel, and you start walking and she'll fall right in line on your left-hand side. We've also gone ahead and incorporated our automatic sit into this. So anytime Fred stops his feet, as he just did, Jasmine sits. It's important when you're heeling Jasmine that she walks nicely at your pace. She shouldn't try to pull ahead or lag behind. If she does attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, you say no, give a tug and let go correction, and repeat the command to heel and start walking again. Next we'll be demonstrating our stay command, which is a hand and voice command. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm an inch or so from Jasmine's muzzle and the one-word command to stay. He walks out to the end of the training leash. This is a great exercise to build up self-control and maturity in Jasmine. You want to start practicing this one at about a minute and work your way up in increments to about 3. Now when Fred returns back to her, he'll walk all the way around her, providing an added distraction as he goes behind her, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds her sit-stay throughout. He gives her some praise, and then he heels her right out of it. We'll show you a little more of the heel, the sit, and the stay. There's that automatic sit. He gives her the stay again. Back out to the end of that training leash. And this time, instead of returning back to her, he'll demonstrate the come or recall command. He calls her in using her name. She comes and sits right in front of him. And we have an exercise called the finish, where Fred's going to heel her right around the back of him to get her right back to his left-hand side heel position, and she sits. He'll demonstrate it one more time. Has her in a sit, gives her a stay, out to the end of the training leash.
Jasmine, come.
Calls her into him. She comes, sits right in front. And then the finish. Has her right around the back of him to get her right back to his left-hand side heel position, and she sits nicely. It's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands about 15 to 20 minutes a day with Jasmine. It helps to keep the commands fresh in her mind. You can practice inside or outside your home and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine with her. Next we'll be showing you our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He then gives her a stay, walks back out to the end of the training leash. This is another great exercise to build up self-control and maturity in Jasmine. Start practicing this one at 3 minutes and work your way up to about 5. Now when he returns back to her, he's going to walk all the way around her as he did on the sit stay, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds her down stay throughout. He gives her praise and releases her right out of it. I'll show you that down again once they come back around. Gives her the down and a stay, back after the end of that training leash.
Jasmine, come.
Now he demonstrates the come or recall command right out of the down. He calls her in using her name. She comes and sits in front. And then the finish, he heels her right around the back of him and right back to that left-hand side heel position, and she sits. And we'll give them a second to get lined up for a down from a distance command. You see Jasmine is doing very well, but if for any reason she doesn't respond to your command, it's important to follow through. So the first word out of your mouth is always no, followed by a tug and let go correction, and then you repeat your command. This will be the down from a distance. You're going to have her in a sit, give her a stay, out at the end of the training leash. This is the only time you use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop her into a down from the end of the training leash. He then returns back to her once again by walking all the way around and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Very nice. Okay, those are our basic commands we've worked on with Jasmine here at school. Now we've also started, even though she is young, to start getting her to hold her stays better for us. We've even been able to drop the leash with her, so we're going to demonstrate a little bit of this. Fred gives her a sit and a stay, drops the leash, walks around the building, and she holds her sit and stay for him. And then he gives her a down, still completely off leash, and a stay, and walks away from her again. Now obviously we don't recommend you do this her first day home, but this shows you what you can definitely build your way up to with her as long as you put in that 15 to 20 minutes a day with her commands with her. And you can see she's following hidden with her eyes all the way around, but she's holding that stay. Very nicely done for a young puppy.
Jasmine.
Alright, we also know steps are one of her issues, so you see we've been working, there's only a couple in this building, we have plenty more in our other, but you see Fred's able to walk her right up and down the steps without a problem. Alright, we've demonstrated for you what we've worked on with Jasmine here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Jasmine, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.